What's up everyone, Wayne here from Ace Customs. Today I'd like to introduce you to a project that we nicknamed Monster Jam. It's a Chevrolet Apache pickup truck that has been built on a Land Cruiser drivetrain and chassis. It's actually not a vehicle that we built, but it is rather an interesting project that we've been involved in or we've handled, and in some respects one of the most challenging projects that we've done. So as I mentioned, it's not a vehicle we built from scratch. However, when we received it, it was kind of partially finished. It was running, but in limp mode. The interior wasn't really done, a lot of the finishing wasn't done, and the customer tasked us with basically getting the vehicle sorted out and finishing it. The project involved several of our divisions, including Ace Customs Auto, who handled all the mechanical and fabrication work and sorting out a number of issues on the vehicle, as well as our dyno and electronics division, RBTS Racing, and then also Ace Customs, who did the interior and a lot of cosmetic fixes. The most challenging part of this project is that because the vehicle was built on the Land Cruiser drivetrain, chassis, engine, and it had the original Land Cruiser wiring harness in, as I mentioned, it was in limp mode. The reason for that is obviously it wasn't in the original Land Cruiser and a lot of the electronics were not present. So that was creating issues with the stock ECU and putting the vehicle into limp mode. We weren't getting proper performance and a lot of the functionality and systems in the vehicle weren't working. That was the single biggest challenge we had to sort out, and because this is the 1VD diesel V8 engine that uses direct injection, our options for engine management were quite limited. Basically, we had to look at a Motec system. We didn't believe that sticking with a stock ECU would be an option because things like the body control module and that were removed from the vehicle. So we went with an M150 Motec ECU and basically did a complete install, full new engine harness, rewired the whole engine to using the M150 ECU. It was quite a significant development process in association with Motec in Australia, who were extremely helpful. So a big shout out to Scott from Motec, who worked through the whole process. When we actually engaged with them originally about the project, they are not aware of another 1VD that had been done with one of their ECUs. But after many months of working through the challenges, we got the vehicle sorted and running on the Motec ECU and performing very well. So very, very proud of the team. Then Ross, obviously from RBTS, who's an absolute legend with electronics and all of that, figured out a lot of stuff. Shout out to Martin from MJR Technologies as well, who helped to get us over the finish line with a few weird little funnies we had right at the end. But definitely something new for us, and very, very proud of my team for getting it sorted and getting the vehicle running like it should be. The Ace Customs Auto undertook to sort out a lot of issues that were present on the vehicle when we received it. Some of those issues were the body wasn't properly mounted on the chassis and was sitting skew. The gearbox was touching the underbody. A lot of little things that just weren't right, and that's not how we like to build cars. So the team sorted out all of those, actually built a custom intake system for the intercooler, because when we first ran the vehicle on the dyno, we found that it was not performing optimally. It was pulling in a lot of hot air. Obviously it's got the top mount intercooler, so the guys did a phenomenal job fabricating this intake system and custom cover for the intercooler, and also cleaned up the whole engine bay, sorted out a lot of piping, a lot of electronics, a lot of wiring, all of that. The bumpers were mounted skew, and the guys fabricated new brackets, got the bumpers mounted properly. We actually discovered that whoever had fitted the injectors on the vehicle had used the incorrect injector seals and were actually pulling air in past the injectors. This project was quite different for us in the fact that we had to go through a significant development process working with Ross in RBTS and Vern, who heads up the Ace Customs Auto team, running the car on the dyno, checking what issues we had, back to the dyno, and eventually got the vehicle to the point where we were happy with the performance and the way the setup and everything came together really well, and yeah, just very proud of the team. The interior of the vehicle also got a significant amount of work done by the Ace Customs team. Door rubbers, inserts. The seats were in a bit of a state when we got them. We had them cleaned and treated. A lot of the panels, like some of these panels had to be custom made because we didn't have the correct panels to finish the seats. We had all the panels re-dyed so that everything matches the vinyl that we've done the interior in. The carpeting was terrible. We've redone the whole carpeting. Also, obviously, all the wiring and everything for the Motec ECU, as well as the fuse box and everything for the vehicle, is behind here. We built custom panels to cover all of that and carpeted them. We put a small sound system in the vehicle with some coaxes in the front and 6x9s in the rear. And again, you know, there's so many little aspects that we sorted out. It's difficult to remember everything. Little switch panel, USB charger. With these types of projects where we get a vehicle that's not completed, it's difficult to remember everything we do, but we go through everything step by step and make sure that we get everything up to our standard and what the customer is looking for. And if I think back to how the vehicle was when we first received it in the interior, it's a completely different vehicle, and I think the project, actually looking at it outside while we were busy with the video, it's really come out better than I could have expected and looking really amazing.